as a Kirby dot. Our brand new co-host, Mr. Alex Johnson, and with us in the studio today is Mr. Cody Carmichael, one of the Naked Ape crew and co-host of the PC Basement. On today's show, we're talking about Mad Magazine's new iPad app. Hawken gets a graphic novel. If you don't know what Hawken is, we're going to explain what that was. As well as Marvel goes all kinds of digital reality on us, and the Avengers fans on Facebook may get some free tickets to see the movie early. We're going to check in with our movie draft. We're going to do a little bit of a spotlight on Mr. George Perez. If you don't know who he is, we'll tell you all about him. As well as always, we have new on the shelf. Again, I am your host, Richard Cleveland, and I'm so happy to be here with you. Again, on a Tuesday night, we had no technical difficulties, just operator difficulties tonight. You may notice a camera up here in my back corner. That's because we got this guy with us tonight, and he's got no lower third, but he's using the brand new interview mic from Between the Pages and Naked Ape Productions. There's Mr. Cody Carmichael.
How's it going?
Huzzah!
Huzzah! And as always, Mr. Jason Bishop, and our new little guy to the world of comic books, video games, and all things geek, Mr. Alex Johnson.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, noobs.
I like the not talking about the color when it comes to me. I appreciate it. Because I'm already colored in real life. That's right. Love it.
Angry Alex gets
Angry
a little
Alex.
yellow when he gets angry.
That's right.
Alex smashed tonight.
I should warn everybody. He's a little tense.
He doesn't
He's
go
a little
green.
wound up. So at any moment, you could see his head explode. And
He could go crazy.
That almost begs the question: if you could be a Hulk, what color would you be?
Jaundiced, apparently. My eyes might go yellow. Just.
What colors are left?
Exactly. All right, so let's get to the big three shot there, and we're going to start off tonight's show with a little bit of news. And first and foremost, Mad Magazine announced an iPad app for their brand new, or their ongoing magazine. Now, the nice thing about this is that not only is this app already out, it's free. You can read the entire Mad Magazine on this app, but get this, if you subscribe to Mad Magazine, it's only $9.99 for a 1-year subscription.
Wow.
How many issues did that clock out at?
Your guess is as good as mine. I think they come out monthly, don't they?
Currently, they're bi-monthly, and I think there's a quarterly magazine in there as well. So
I thought it was
you're
bi-monthly.
probably looking to 6 to 8 issues a month, but with the new app, they could feasibly do a heck of a lot more.
Absolutely.
That's a pretty good deal.
Now, the other thing about this is it includes the interactive version. If you're a subscriber to the newsstand version, you get the interactive version for free.
Excellent.
Which is kind of cool. And inside that, you can get back issues, animated covers, fold-in pages, promo videos from Hit Cartoon Network show, Mad, and a link to Mad's popular blog. There's all kinds of stuff in there. My biggest thing here, and I've got the app on my iPad.
I can't wait to see you fold your iPad.
Well,
to the.
I won't literally fold my iPad. Let me just. Pull
They'll
up
give
my
it to
iPad
me.
here.
Alex Smash. I show you iPad.
Let's get back to the Mad Magazine. Okay, so.
And I hear they get some of the animated stuff from the new show, as well as some of the other clips from the Mad TV show as well.
Well, do you remember reading? You're old enough to remember Mad. These guys maybe aren't, but
I used to get them.
It
regularly.
sits on the
I've read
magazine
some
shelf
Mads.
next to the stuff you like.
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
You know, the one you
Let me
pass
go
over
back.
to get your video game magazine
Let me go back to
with
the
the
beginning
free
here.
disc.
Are you kidding me? I used to, buy those all the time, those magazines.
I want
That's
to go
how
back.
I discovered Sergio first, long before Gru.
Okay, so here is the new cover. Let me see.
You have to
I
switch
guess I
to his
should turn it
camera.
around.
right?
Yeah.
There you
There we
go.
Let's switch to my camera.
Look how crisp that is.
Actually, that is interesting.
And this isn't even the new iPad.
That
the-
actually looks
That's
If
the
you-
iPad 2.
That's the iPad 2, yeah.
So tap to play again.
I'm going to tap to play it again. So they got an animated cover, which is really kind of
That's
cool. Just like you normally do, you swipe it. Now, if you are a Mad Magazine fan,
Whoa, where'd you go there?
I don't know. I have no idea where I went.
It
But if
auto-
you're a Mad Magazine fan, you'll notice Mad's famous for having all of these little tiny cartoons up in the corner. If you just kind of tap them, it actually brings them up. So you get to see all those little cartoons around the panels.
Hey, this is Sergio Aragones, who I
Yes.
just mentioned a second ago,
Yeah.
who's been working on Mad since the dawn of time, really.
Decades.
I mean, the guy's been there for 30, 40 years, easy.
Now, I'm just going to go to the back fold-in page. I
can't wait to see how
Would you
this
call
works.
him a madman?
You know, Sergio, he's almost a cartoon character in and of himself. He is, you know, he's getting up there in age, but he's got such a spark for life. He's got so much energy.
I need to...
if you get a chance, and he's a guest at a con, we had him here in Calgary at the Calgary Expo a couple of years ago. A lot of fun. I had the opportunity to spend a whole weekend with him and the Mad crew like 10, 12 years ago now, and they're amazing.
Okay, so we all remember the back fold-in pages. Everybody remembers those?
Yeah.
So all you got to do now is just swipe it. Or swipe it. There you go. And it does the fold-in for you, so you don't have to break your
There's
iPad.
your 99 cents.
Nice.
Yeah.
99%.
There you go. So
Topical, as always.
now when you download the app, you do get a free copy of the magazine, or a special edition. It's only about 10 pages. So you get to see that, and it gives you a feel for what the magazine's going to be. If you want to order it, I highly suggest, if you're a Mad fan, get this digitally if you're not getting it in print now. It's so much fun to have on the iPad. You can just read it. I read comic books on my iPad all the time, and I think it's a great way to go. What do you guys think?
You know, with magazines and just Mad's always been more of a magazine than a comic book specialty item. And print magazines, I mean, it's no secret, they're kind of suffering. Time, etc. I mean, we're seeing a lot of these guys like Newsweek and everybody bringing out their own apps. This makes total sense to me. They're making it fun and interactive for the kids who have iPads and iPhones. Does it work on iPhone? Is it iOS 5?
You can get it for yes, it's all for iOS 5. You can get it for the iPhone or the iPad. Okay. So it's available on both devices.
Yeah. And to be honest, no, I don't understand why any magazine company wouldn't embrace this new technology. The ability to add more interactiveness to anything you do should be something you should be looking at. If you for those of you out there that haven't really taken the leap, do it. Get out there while you can.
And hopefully this will help the print magazine. Like, I think print is still superior to this digital stuff, but later on we're going to see something where something that combines and
that's
marries
true.
Exactly, and that's
we'll show that to you
very true.
later on.
Like, I think people need to look to the future with this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
and I think they shouldn't ignore the past.
No.
I think part of the problem is you have retailers like myself who think digital, like the Marvel and DC, are trying to drive people to digital. It's not really working out that way for Marvel and DC, and I can't speak for other companies, but the percentage of people using digital for comics exclusively isn't very high.
Yeah, I haven't really heard. I've heard it's pretty
low.
So
right? You got to come up with something that's going to support the print, promote the print, get more people reading it, while still supporting the guys that do want to do digital. And I think if you marry the two, you're going to come up with something really
a better
cool.
formula. Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is still the genesis of this all. I mean, books and digital print, that kind of makes sense. There's not really a huge leap there. I mean, you're just essentially
copying
the page over. Magazines, work PDF or whatever format. Right. They tend to throw them in. It's, again, pictures in print. Comics are designed for the printed page.
Yeah.
And that comes a little more difficult with iPhones and iPads. You're suddenly zooming in on panels, things that were designed to be very expressive, like double-page spreads, so become less impactful because they shrink down.
It's smaller size, yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't quite get the same full effect of the blammo when you have the page in your hand. I agree with that, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing really, I read comic books on my iPad from time to time, but the biggest thing is really the collectability. You don't get to kind of have a collection of comic books if you got digital. I mean, reading them's not bad on an iPad, I find. Yeah. But most people are after comics to actually have the alternate covers and the number ones.
Yeah, and it certainly takes the fun of collectability out of it, and that is something digital is never going to be able to do.
Well, I got to say I agree with that. So now we're going to move on to our next story of the day, and Alex, you've got that, right?
That I do. So, of course, we talked about, as Rich mentioned earlier, there's a game called Hawken, which is a mech online first-person shooter game that's being come out. And now, originally, I read it as I thought it was a book before it became a video game. That's completely the opposite way around. As Rich mentioned, there's a book being made of the video game to help enhance it.
It's a graphic novel.
Things like that. Yeah, it's becoming a graphic novel. And the person who's writing it happens to be have written the Mass Effect 3 comic books as well, too. So it's a fairly big name coming into it. And I haven't seen all of his work, but I do like some of the things that he has put out. And I'm a massive Mass Effect fan. I love anything that has to do with it. I've read as many books as I could when I could pick them up and things like that. So I'm pretty excited. Having gone to the site and looked at what they're putting out, the biggest thing to me, big massive stars here, by the way, big flashies for anyone that's interested, free to play. Those 3 words used to be really bad in the game industry. I mean, if you heard free to play, you were like, oh, that's not even going to be worth my time. Like, no way. Nowadays, most gaming companies have decided that free to play games could generate interest, a lot of interest, especially if you know how to market it properly. Steam has been a massive company that has actually gone and said, hey, we're giving you free to play. Check out these games. You can buy stuff in it. You can give us some money. We'll give you more stuff. And that's kind of how I think Hawken and Arcade are actually coming at it right now.
Okay.
DC Online had some success. I mean, we had the big Sony outage that hurt a lot of properties, and it was right after the launch of DC Online, a game people were very, very excited about. Certainly hurt the launch of that, and making free to play, I think, saved that game.
Yeah, it did. Otherwise, that game wasn't going to go anywhere. And even I checked it out afterward. It was like I think Rich, you told me, you're like, hey, it's free to play, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I might be interested in it now. And I knew Sony. I've played Sony games for a long time. I played EverQuest 1. So, like, I was with them way back in the day when it was SOE and stuff like that, like back in their terrible times. Or their great times, depending on how you look at it.
I like that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Sony, you had a terrible dark time.
And it's also free-to-play is bringing back some other old games. Like, EverQuest 1 is free-to-play now.
Which came after EverQuest 2, like years after EverQuest 2 became free-to-play. So that's a pretty big deal now. So, having looked at some of the graphics, I do suggest, if you haven't gone to YouTube yet or gone to the site, Hawken...
Hawken.
I think playhawken.com, or you just type it into Google, look it up. You can check out the videos, and there's actually, the graphics on it are really nice. I'm going to say the gameplay looks a little bit reminiscent of Heavy Gear, which was a 1990s old mechs title kind of thing. That was a bit more involved. It looked like you had more objectives. It was kind of story-based, where this one is, get in there, we want to create really fast action-paced battles and just blow crap up. Like, that's what they want to do. And in the videos you can see that. In fact, I think there's one fight where the guy they have filming it is getting his ass handed to him. Like, he's hands down not going to win that fight because the guy's just circling him and nailing him. And then they switch out to watch him blow up some more stuff. Graphics look really nice. I really like the idea. It sounds to me, too, like Arcade has actually expressed that if you pick up some of the books and stuff like that, they're enhancing the storyline, but they're offering free and secret codes within those books, too.
Oh, nice.
So that's like this little, it's worth it to actually check out the books to get the extra insight.
Sorry about that. Any word on whether they're going to come out as issues or hardcovers? Arcade seems to be very much in favor of releasing their books in hardcover. I showcased A Tale of Sands a couple weeks ago. Beautiful stuff. So if it's not collected right away, they're certainly going to have a beautiful collection at the end.
To be honest, it doesn't really. I don't think they've really picked on whether or not it's going to be continual thing or not. I imagine that it would be, especially if they want to keep people coming back for more, and if they want to keep enhancing the storyline. It might be only based on patches, like actual expansion packs, but I'd imagine if you want to continue that or have people pick up the book, check out the storyline, get the free stuff or get the secret stuff, then to me it would make sense to actually continue to build that storyline that way too.
Yeah.
So this is another example, of course, of a company realizing we want to embrace this future of interactivity. Why not take it to that next level?
Yeah, and there's been a huge surge of video games to comics, and this is nice to hear that something's combining the comics and something that adds to the game, something nobody really has done yet with the huge myriad of video game comics that are out there right now.
Well, exactly.
I would have loved to have picked up the 6 issues of Uncharted and to have I don't know, some sort of DLC at the end of it.
That would have been
something,
crazy,
or a skin or anything. That would have been awesome.
Same with the kind of Batman Arkham comics as well that came out.
Yeah, and they're still bringing out Arkham comics, so they should have done that with at least the trade paperback or something. These are great ideas, I think, for video game comic tie-ins.
Sure, absolutely. I agree. Now, next, what do we got? Oh, we got something from you.
From me.
Marvel is doing something fantastic for fans everywhere, especially if you're an iPad owner.
We seem to be moving on to this theme of interactivity with comics. Marvel teased at something called Infinite. Well, out of the last couple of shows they've done, we had Emerald City last week.
Right.
It's changed now. I think it's called Marvel AR. Marvel AR stands for Augmented Reality.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay, do I
It's a
need
little
like
funky.
a top to spin to see if I'm dreaming?
Well, you might.
Okay.
We'll get Alex over there to pinch you or something.
No, he's hulking out, man. I don't.
He'll punch you
I'll
in the
throw
side of the
something
head.
at you, see if it hurts.
So, basically what this is it's a free app
Okay.
for your ISO 5 iPad. It looks really spectacular
Android
on
too.
iPad, Android. I literally just downloaded it today, just
So did
found
I,
out
actually.
about it today. So we're going to demo this for you and show what it is.
Okay.
And it is on tomorrow's release, actually tonight, if you know some of the places that have the Avengers versus X-Men party. Avengers versus X-Men #1. And I'm going to get my friend here to hold up this.
We're going to get our guest to cover up his face with a comic book.
Okay, before we get to the iPad, you'll see this Marvel AR right here.
Right.
This will mark the pages that are interactive.
Okay.
So not every page in the book has
Not
that.
every
right?
page isn't
so
going to have
don't
that in the
expect
book.
an entire interactive book. Here,
But
is what I'm saying.
having scanned the book myself, we have some panels that you get to see from the genesis of pencils to colors. Sometimes there's commentary. There's one particular page that is commentary by writer Brian Michael Bendis.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And there's a big double-page spread where we have literally the Marvel editor-in-chief walk onto your book. And we will just show you.
That would be Axel Alonso.
That would be Axel Alonso. And we are going to show you what this cover does.
Okay.
Reminder, we've been talking about this book for a couple weeks now, too, so kind of excited about this little extra stuff.
You got to get your finger out of
Get
it.
your
There you
finger out of
go.
there,
Oh,
Jay.
it's the
There you
finger.
go.
So as you can see, Cody's holding up the comic in the background,
Which has disappeared.
which
to
has
your
disappeared.
eyes.
Yeah, on the iPad, and now there's a video running, like an animated comic book with some commentary over top.
Which really, when you think about it, augmented reality is not a bad name for what they've done with this.
Yeah, this is
technology
awesome.
at all.
That's the name of the technology, right?
Yeah, and I mean, to me, it fits perfectly. You might want to hold the cover there.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Just pin it down. So as you can see behind the iPad, the cover is still there, still the same. Cody's not making magic here. Or we'd like to think we are, but
And one of the downsides I have to admit is you have to keep it pointed at the page or the cover to keep it going.
Right.
yeah, if you lose it for a second, it will
Now,
restart.
my
It doesn't
my
ever-
suggestion to you is, if you are going to get this app for your iOS device or your Android device, I'm going to say that read the book first, then hold your device over
Yeah,
top to find
think of it like DVD
all of
special features,
all of the
right?
Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I like to call them Easter eggs.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's the big splash page. Oh, geez, I remember that name.
holding up an iPad.
It's pretty rough on the arms, hey?
They are kind of heavy. Okay, so there we go.
Hi, I'm Marvel Comics Editor-in-Chief Axel Alonso, welcoming you to Avengers vs. X-Men, an event you'll experience like none before through the Marvel AR app. First mightiest heroes, the Avengers, children of the Atom, the X-Men. The two most powerful teams in the Marvel Universe are about to go to war in
Okay, hang on a sec. I'm going to give you a cord to plug into that. See if we can get some audio.
You know what the interesting thing I'm noticing too is that if Cody shakes the page at all, he actually ripples himself too and shakes. It's kind of interesting. Oh, the headphone jack there. There you go. It's on this side, right there. There you go. We apologize.
Go to another page, I
This
guess.
is good
I'm going
times.
to flip to another page. I'm not sure if this one has sound.
You got to get your arm out of the way. There you go. So this one doesn't have sound, but it's taking all the color out of the page, and it's taking us through the process of how they made the page.
See, and I can appreciate stuff like that. That's pretty awesome to
That's
watch.
freaking awesome,
That's pretty
dude.
crazy.
Is there another page in there with an AR?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
a few.
there's a couple.
Okay.
Quite a few.
Find one more. Something that's got audio.
To a real nerd, I think this is like nerdgasm kind of part, especially if you're
Oh,
into
yeah.
comic books,
Oh.
you know, because to me,
This is like DVD extras.
exactly, yeah, DVD extras. And, you know, anyone who actually enjoys something will usually enjoy that
Okay,
themselves.
we're going to do the
anyways.
Nova page.
Okay, so this is the Nova page.
You're going to want to turn your iPad up if you can.
Oh yeah, it's got.
It's cranked.
You're going.
Oh.
No, it's
Not
not
the wrong-
cranked.
well,
It's on. I went the wrong way. All right.
Yeah,
my
you went
bad.
the wrong way.
No, it's down. There you go.
There you go.
I don't have an iPad,
Avengers,
so that's my excuse.
Getting to see who they are and what they do. You're meeting Nova, and with Nova comes the information that something is coming, and that something is the Phoenix. And with that information starts the forward momentum of the story. Why I think it's probably my favorite scene, it was the first scene that I saw artwork from Johnny. And, you know, that moment when pages first come in is really when you know whether or not a project is in trouble or a project is going to really work. And
I'm going to cut it right there.
Okay.
'cause I don't want to spoil too much.
No, agreed. I think
Yeah,
we're
we don't
okay
wanna
with
spoil
that.
it all
We
for
want
you.
you to pick this up. Like, this is huge. This is, you know,
That thing is freaking awesome, man.
I think it's amazing. Yeah. Again, interactivity. We've been talking about it most of the night here, and I think
Oh, yeah.
companies need to keep pushing it. I think Marvel's, as you were saying, Jason, Marvel's done a really good job of bringing people back to print and pushing the digital part at the same time.
I got to say, as a retailer, this is something I think is fantastic. You know, it supports the print medium, supports us in the stores, and it gives the fans something extra. You know, you don't have to rush out to buy an iPad if you like this book. You're going to read it regardless. But man, this is kind of like the special features, and it's not something like throwing extra pages in the trade paperback or
That's
throwing
right.
sketches at the back of
It's-
a book where it's a lot of the times you're paying an extra buck and feeling a little burned.
That's right.
Now it's right there in the comic. Hold up your app and you're seeing videos and hearing interviews with Brian Michael Bendis and the EIC, Axel Alonso, and lots of pages about process. I mean, this is great. I mean, I love this. Like,
Now,
right out of the
Marvel-
gate, I love this.
Marvel has said that this is not the only book that's going to carry the AR symbol. It's going to be across their major line.
Yeah, this is just going to be, this is the first salvo, the opening salvo. I'm sure we're going to start seeing this in the Avengers books, Spider-Man,
gonna
probably
be
the Ultimate
awesome.
line as well. You know, Iron Man, they demoed, I do believe, at the last couple of conventions.
Yeah, they demoed that at South by Southwest, and I think they demoed it at WonderCon,
Which, by the way,
which
it was
just happened.
ridiculously beautiful. Like, it had Iron Man flying up and down on your iPad. And
Yeah,
it was,
it's-
I was like,
Full
oh my
3D Iron Man.
goodness.
yeah, full 3D, yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Totally wicked. I can't wait till the comic show here in Calgary, and we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. But first, we got to talk about Facebook. And, well, what we've been talking about for the last 10 minutes, the Avengers.
Yeah, so Marvel has announced yesterday, actually, that Facebook fans of the Avengers will actually have a chance to get a advanced screening of the movie.
Ooh.
So the event is kicking off in 5 major U.S. cities, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Houston, and Miami. Nice thing is if you want other cities, especially international, all you have to do is go to your local Avengers fan page and just kind of ask.
Bump it,
Now,
bump it, guys.
is that for any fan page, or is that just for the Avengers fan page?
The Avengers.
Okay, so you have to go to Marvel's Avengers fan page.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
local ones. So, like, for example, I don't know if they have like a Canadian Facebook Avengers page. If they
No, I
do,
imagine they
that's
do.
where we'd go to try and get it to say to come to Calgary for advanced screening.
Or any Canadian city at that, guys. Come on.
No,
There's no excuse for that anymore. Come on. Canada's representing here.
So this is groundbreaking too. I mean, this is the first time a major motion picture is using social media to give away advanced screening passes.
Yeah. Usually I'd say that's a more private thing. Tends to be, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
well, yeah, they tend to send them out to radio stations and newspapers,
Comic book
as
stores.
and comic book stores. And if for some reason I might get a hold of a pass or two, maybe we might have a contest of our own.
Oh well,
So, that's an if. I never
That's an
know
if.
what I'm going to get
That's
until
true.
I get it.
That's
so.
if I don't beat Jason for it, that is.
Yeah.
Alex, angry.
Angry Alex.
So what's interesting too is that these events in the cities is they're encouraging fans to actually dress up as their favorite superheroes, and they're actually going to do costume contests.
Wow.
I wonder how many Batman are going to show up.
Yeah. He's not even in the movie. What do you do? I'm going to drive by and make fun of him. The people that aren't dressed up like the proper characters. Because really, that's like wearing the wrong band t-shirt when you go to the concert. Come on, man. You couldn't even bother to get it right.
It's like going to a Tool
concert.
concert with a Weird Al Yankovic t-shirt on.
Oh, you get slapped for
would be
that.
wrong.
That would be, yeah, I would
I'm a
find that
huge-
guy.
I'm a huge Tool fan, so.
That's
my
very funny.
God.
Tonight, representing, of course, as usual.
Oh. Well, we got a couple of tools in the room tonight.
Hey, always. Always.
Standard
Oh
Joe
man, that
Brady
should be the
Tool
name of
fan.
tonight's show. We got a couple of tools. So coming out, the Avengers is going to be big, and it opens on the 4th of May of this year. So if you haven't seen it,
Next month.
next month. If you haven't seen any of the trailers, there's a brand new trailer out that's on the internet now. Shows a lot more of what's going on with Loki, and based on what I saw, it looks like the Skrulls are involved, because these monsters that are in this trailer look nothing like any other creature we've seen before.
Interesting.
Well, and this is interesting because Whedon has come out several times saying no Skrulls, no Skrulls, no Skrulls. So if he's telling the truth, which, let's face it, sometimes they don't, which race is this? Is this a Marvel Universe race we all are familiar with yet? And we also know that they're taking a lot of story beats in these Marvel movies from the Ultimate Universe.
That's
and
right.
They do have different races that haven't been introduced in Marvel proper. So I'm looking forward to the fact that I actually don't know, and there's going to be a few surprises left for me.
Well, we also don't know at the end of Thor where Loki really went.
True.
We don't know if he went to the ice world, which was called, somebody help me,
Jotunheim.
Jotunheim. We don't
Damn.
know if he ended up in Jotunheim or if he ended up somewhere else.
I'm also wondering if we're going to get a little teaser or snippet of maybe the Red Skull. We haven't seen, where did he go at the end of Captain America?
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
My guess
true.
is that'll play out in the next Cap movie rather than Avengers, but I wouldn't mind
never
seeing
know.
a little nod of recognition to that as well.
Well, the Cosmic Cube, I think, is going to play a big role in this movie
That's right.
because it was there at the end of Thor, and
Captain America.
and played a role in
It played
Cap-
and it played a big
across
role in
the-
Captain America. So
across the place.
it's definitely one of those elements that I think we're going to see, and I think that's how we see the reemergence of Loki on Earth and from wherever he was. Now, that being said, let's check in with our movie draft. For those people who didn't get to see our episode of the movie draft, YouTube those bastards.
Jason, fill in the blank, buddy. Fill in the blank.
What? Just because my movie opened first, you got plenty of time to play catch
That's
up.
right.
Don't worry. I will not only play catch up, my friend, because, of course, I want you to go see Avengers heavily. In fact, go watch it 4 times while you're at it.
On opening weekend, mind
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But remember, you're going to be starting at a very low place.
Don't
where there'll
worry,
be
buddy.
me at a very high place.
It's a long game, my friend.
It
Long
is.
game.
By that time,
As you start playing catch up, then Batman opens, and then there I go again.
So-
I let you catch up, and then I just move away. I just
Don't worry.
All right.
take the trophy.
So
Now,
update us.
For
Where we
for
at?
those people who didn't see our movie draft 2.5 hour long episode, we do apologize, but you will be able to see that on our site within the next few days. YouTube, those bastards pulled it down due to what they felt was copyright infringement, and they didn't see it as fair use. So, that being said, screw them.
Because as we all know, we're getting paid to do this.
Yeah,
Clearly,
we collect
like-
money for doing this
I
show.
don't think they have a problem with us running trailers of their movies. I think they have a problem with us running trailers with the competitors' movies.
Oh, I see. I get
Giving
it.
everybody fair play.
And if anybody saw the little notice that popped up on YouTube, I mean, there's companies we didn't
There's like
don't
5 or
even
6.
we've never even heard
Yeah.
of that are complaining.
They're like,
Yeah.
how dare
So
you?
I don't even know we aired anything of theirs. I'm like,
It
who
was
are you?
on the episode was up for 3 days before they pulled it down.
So hopefully you got a chance to see that. If you didn't, few more days, and you
Come
will
back
be
to
able
the
to
site.
see it again.
Yeah, come back to
Yeah.
nakedapeproductions.com or nakedapeprod.com and check it out, and you'll be able to get the whole 2.5 hours of us
Yeah.
being fools.
What do we do? We bid on movies to see who is going to take the highest gross with their combined movies that they
That's right.
managed
Over
to
2012.
Yeah,
Yeah,
over
that was the
2012 that they
we,
managed to
We
win.
didn't pick every movie, of course. I mean, that would be absolutely ridiculous. But we did do a selection. And, of course, if you go to nakedaprod.com, click on the feature page, and I've got the entire list of movies there for you to click on each one to check it out as well, too.
Oh, there
So
you go.
You can do that right from our page as well.
Yeah.
And, of course, we never do this. We need to do it more often, of course. Pop in the page as we're pumping it now.
That's right.
If you're watching on any of the streams and you're not at our website, come to our website, join us in the chat. Go to nakedaprod.com, click on the Watch Live button, and come talk to me in the chat. That's right. Get crazy. Angry Alex, loving it.
All right. So where we stand, as we all know, the Hunger Games opened on the 23rd of March, and Jason got out of the gate running. We'll just say his year-to-date total in 2 weekends is $362 million, 383,901.
Booyah!
All right. Your opening weekend was $214 million. And, of course, we're going worldwide. We're not just going
Yeah,
domestic.
we're not
you
just
know.
going domestic.
We're counting
Now-
overseas. So
Wrath of the Titans, the follow-up to Clash of the Titans from 2 years ago, opened up this past weekend, and it's just an opening gross, so you're not that far behind. Cody had that movie with $111,457,188 dollars on your opening weekend. Very respectable.
exactly.
You still
Very
got time.
respectable.
Not bad for not quite a major title, I guess.
Yeah,
No,
for
that's
this
actually
year.
really
Like,
good.
that's pretty
and
good.
that actually surprised me because this was a sequel that I think barely got past that green light. I think
Yeah.
it did
Barely is
well.
right.
I think it did well on video, but it struggled. The Clash of the Titans struggled in theaters the last go around. So to see it do this well out of the gates,
It's pretty
it's actually
good.
kind of surprising to
Yeah.
me. And,
Yeah.
good luck to you. Like
Yeah, I got to show Cody's smile. Like, look at him. Yeah,
that was my backhanded.
Cody's got this
Backhanded
look on his
compliments there.
face like, yeah,
Fuck you,
I
buddy.
will catch you and kick your ass.
Well, I mean,
That's what it looks like.
I've got two other low budget, or I shouldn't say low budget, but kind of
Lower
alternate
end.
movies.
Well, now, Cody,
what else
you have Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter.
Which, again,
Which
could
looks-
come out of nowhere, really.
You
with
also
that
have
one.
The
I think so,
Amazing
too.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's not a little movie.
No,
No.
that's a big one.
And
Total
after
Recall.
I saw the trailer this weekend, Total Recall
Oh
you've
my
got as well.
goodness.
And let's face it, that one's got a huge legacy behind it.
Oh, yeah.
It did huge money back in the Schwarzenegger days. I
It-
think it's going to do
I think it's going to be huge
money again.
because they're keeping it close to the storyline too. If you actually watch the trailer, it's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. So that makes it that much better in my mind.
And I got to tell you, that actually disappoints me a bit.
Oh, really?
When I see a remake, I want them to tread new ground. I want them to try something different, something new.
Well, don't forget, this is only a trailer. We don't know exactly how they're going to
Absolutely.
Yeah,
take
they,
it.
they could have just picked the parts that they
Because-
knew were going to get you to be like, oh, it looks like the original.
At
So
the
it
same
could go
time,
either way.
the trailer never showed anything of Mars yet.
Yeah, that
True.
is true. It was all Earth shots.
Get your ass
Yeah,
back
so
to
we didn't
Mars.
see the woman with 3 boobs, which is what I'm looking forward to.
The
Which is a
mask
little bit
looked
different.
awesome, however.
Hey,
though.
they'll update it and it'll
Yeah.
be like 5.
That's just
Too
wrong.
many.
It'll be out of Paul, right?
Yeah.
Four forwards. That's crazy.
But 5 boobs would look like the Olympic symbol.
It is an Olympic year.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We're gonna
She's
put
got to
her-
have a different color nipple ring in every one.
follows the blue, red, yellow, green.
Oh my goodness! All
You heard
right.
it here first. Remember that.
Now, the one thing I am looking forward to from that movie is they've changed up the 2 weeks mask. It looks very, because you see a
Digital.
very quick snippet
Yeah, very
at the very end of the trailer, and it's digital, and it changes like 4 faces, and it's awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it
So
looks
I
wild.
can't wait
haven't
to see
seen the
that.
trailer yet, so I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely worth
So
it.
you,
If
you won't
haven't
get
done it,
this
do it.
2 weeks, 2 weeks.
Oh.
That's right. So we,
Definitely looking interesting.
We
I think we're
promise
gonna
we'll
check it.
never do that again.
especially a fat guy like me.
We won't let Rich do it again
Yeah,
on
that's
camera.
right.
Okay, we promise. As long as you watch, if you don't watch, well then we're gonna show it constantly. Remember this in your mind.
That'll be our new
Remember.
Facebook pictures.
An animated GIF.
There we go. So
Speaking of, make sure you like our page on Facebook, Naked Ape
Yes.
Prod.
let's
Naked Ape
talk about
Productions, yeah.
Facebook and us for a minute.
Yeah.
Naked
what
Ape.
about us?
Well, Naked Ape Productions has got their own little contest going on.
You don't say.
We do say, and it is for a 1 full weekend pass to the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo.
Am I eligible?
No,
Didn't think so.
What?
no,
We're
because
staff.
What?
he's a host.
He's a host, not staff. I thought they were the same
You'll see
thing.
me
No,
Oh, okay.
he's a host.
Oh,
if
I
you
see.
work for the network or work with the network, you can't be a part of it. But we do have a 1 full weekend pass to the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo that we are going to put up to one lucky person. Now, how you get in on this is if you're coming to Calgary, if you're outside of Calgary and you're coming to Calgary, Alberta, Canada for the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo, and that is on the April 27th to the 29th at the BMO Center, Bank of Montreal Center here in Calgary. All you got to do is like us on Facebook.
Yes, find us. We got a
And we are
giant
going to go
page
through
there.
all of those likes, current and all the new ones, and we are going to pick a winner from those folks on Facebook.
No, we want you to comment on the page. Be loud about
Yes,
it.
agreed.
Be loud and aggressive.
Yeah.
Be
Tell your friends
We love it.
and start shouting on the page. We want that ticket.
There's
Yeah.
only one.
There's only one, so you want it. So if you want it, get your friends to like us too, and then that way you can double, triple, quad, 5
Now,
times
the
your
reason we have
chances.
this is because Naked Ape Productions is going to be at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo as media.
That's right.
We
you
got
can
a
catch
media
us.
accreditation for that show, and I couldn't be happier about that. Now we just got to get our list in for who we want to interview. If there's somebody you want us to interview, let us know. Tell us in your comment on Facebook. You can comment here on the show. You can send us an email to, where can they send it to, Alex?
Yeah, you can send it to me, Alex, at nakedaprod.com. Of course, you can send it to the shows
Between the
themselves,
pages.
between the pages, nakedaprod.com. The PC Basement at nakedaprod.com.
Yep.
Richard at nakedaprod.com. And, of course, my man Cody, sexy beast that he is, Cody at nakedaprod.com. So
There you go.
Unfortunately, Jason's odd man out tonight, but whatever. He's just a host,
They're
as we put
always
it.
slow to get me on there. I'm not getting in his press. Like, what the hell?
That's how it is. Suck
I'm
it up,
only the
buddy.
host.
We did try,
Well,
but they'd
they-
only give us 4 passes
That's
total.
right. And as a retailer, when I'm set up, they would only give me 2. That
There
was
you
even
go.
worse, and then they'd make me pay for them. So, they are pretty strict with their entry, and that's okay. I
Yeah.
got my ticket. I'll be there. I'll be doing interviews with you
Yep.
and Alex and whoever else has
Cody's
to be there.
gonna be there.
Cody's going to be there, and we will be making a very special episode, maybe episodes from the footage we were shooting that day.
That's right.
We
That
hope to do
weekend.
That weekend, not just the day,
That's
the
right.
weekend.
Yeah, hopefully we show you some of the panels. There'll be some interviews, lots of photos of the costumes.
What was that?
I think I heard that.
Thank you for dragging down the show.
Hey, someone had to do it.
Thank you for dirtying it up.
throwing in the gutter.
Just
You know what's classy? 5 boobs that look like the Olympic symbol. But, you know, come on.
That's just too much, Cody. Too much.
Cody's going to be at the show lifting up your shirt.
Cody gone wild. I like it.
Yeah,
Cody gone wild at the Calgary Comic
No, it's more like
Expo.
Cody with a
Girls
camera at the
gone
Comic
wild.
Expo.
That's right. Now, here's something. If you are in costume at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo, go see Cody. Cody will have on his shirt displaying that he is with Naked Ape Productions.
I will make you famous on the internet.
You won't be able to miss Cody because he's a likable teddy bear kind of guy.
No, I won't be creepy.
Don't worry.
Just remember that face, ladies.
You're already there. Don't worry. The restraining order says he has to stand about 6 feet away from you.
And there's no casting couch because that was where that sounded. That was dirty.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me see here.
This goes to all the guys in costume as well.
It goes both ways.
So Cody is going to have this with him, and it is our I Love Between the Pages Comic-Con Hotties card. And you can see there's the Naked Ape. Now, there's also something else that's going to be happening. Cody's going to have our Naked Ape mascot with him, who doesn't have a name.
So guess what?
There's another contest.
There's another
That's
contest
right.
while we're
Contest.
at the con. So there's going to be a contest to name our ape, and the person who names our Naked Ape,
Who's gonna
and
win
not
the
your
prize?
Naked Ape, but our Naked Ape, will receive a very special prize from Naked Ape Productions. Now, we want you to hold this card up to get your picture taken because it doesn't matter if you're male, female, old, young, white, or another color.
Yellow.
Hey,
Well-
if you're green.
You could be green.
What? Purple. Forget
No.
that noise.
We want to see
lots
this
of
card in
marketing.
your hand, and Cody's going to be taking lots of video footage of you in your costume, and we're going to be putting that on all the shows as well. So there you go. We're going to be at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo, and I can't wait. I'm super stoked. I'm sure all the guys are super stoked.
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
I'm sorry. No.
I don't
Honestly,
have to stand by
really
a cage and
excited.
sell stuff this year.
That's right.
I'm going to be
like-
running around like a raped ape with the rest of you guys. I'm going to be getting signatures. I'm going to be getting some photos taken. I'm going to be taking my own photos
Buying some
for all of you to
t-shirts.
see. T-shirts and
Stabbing people.
making interviews.
There you
with
go.
all of you
Pushing
wonderful
people out of the way, yelling fire to get the
We'll
lineup
make sure
to
not to give
move.
Alex any
Fire,
points.
Yes.
fire.
Now, we have two virgins here, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh.
Right
Both,
here.
both Cody and Alex have never, ever been to the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo.
Come up to me with her costume and be like, "Hey, virgin, check this out." And I'm like, "Sweet, click." Like, busted.
Oh, my God. Hey, virgin.
That's
my-
right. Lay it on me. Lay it on me. That's
Okay,
what's
so
all
there,
about here.
so ladies, just so you know, these are the two virgins that will be at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. Just take it easy on them.
Snipe them. I want you to snipe them. I want you to terrify the hell out of them.
Just
I
pop out
want
of
my
nowhere.
peeps coming out in the masses. Ladies, he needs it. Give him a little peck on the cheek and run like hell. Guys, do the same thing.
Hey, I'm down. I'm open for loving. I don't care who it is.
I want you to be shoving comic books in his face and give him the what for. Tell him what this show's all about.
That's right.
Show him how fun this is. Show them both how fun this is.
Oh yes, please do. I'm down. I'm open.
Definitely.
Let's do
Except
this.
Cody, because he's got the restriction of 6 feet. But
Hey, that's, it's optional.
Cody's like that young fella that, all the girls think he's cute but never want to date.
Oh,
That's a burn.
that is a burn. That's rough.
first he makes
Even if
himself
it's
look
truth.
creepy, and then you do this.
Then, I got to tell you.
Destroyed the poor guy.
You just friend zoned him for everyone.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I did, yeah.
Friend zone.
In my own defense, I am, in my late 40s and going gray, and I'm not a light guy.
Wait. Show them the box.
Show them the box.
Yeah,
Which box?
you
You need to-
deserve to show them the box.
we
now.
box?
need to show
Oh, you know a box.
the box.
The
right
box.
there.
That
Oh,
one. That's right. Just for that, because you burned Cody, let us show you what
Okay.
Richard has to do.
This is
All
the
right.
before shot, too, by the way.
yeah, let's
As
check it out on him
everybody
now.
knows, I have a little bit
And
of.
he's under the delusion that it's going to take one box.
Yeah, we figured it'll be about 3. Maybe
Now-
4.
Okay, so
My wife has said to me, she says, you're going to the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo this year, and you're going to be doing some interviews, and you're going to be bumping elbows with some of the bigger names in the entertainment industry. So maybe you should make yourself look a little younger. So what she decided to do was get me some Just for Men mustache and beard
She bought
color.
him 1 box.
She bought me 1 box. Now, if you don't know, I'm going to do an unboxing.
okay, anybody see the last few shows? We always have this secret unboxing.
We have a secret
unveiling of
unboxing.
So
something.
today's secret unboxing is the Just for Men.
Just for men.
Mustache and beard.
Now, this is easy 5 minutes, so it only takes 5 minutes to color your hair.
Maybe we can
And
do
this
it
is light
7.
brown, so it kind of goes with my hair. And what you get in here is a huge, huge document of how to do this.
And
Like,
probably where not to do it.
yeah,
This
where
roadmap.
here's a roadmap on how to color your mustache and beard, gentlemen.
And you notice the pictograms are black and white.
Yeah.
Color, what's
Gray,
this
if
about?
you will.
Now, what you get in the kit, of course, is a little tray to mix stuff in, a pair of rubber gloves. So-
Because that's something we want to see on you.
Well, and then you
Welcome
get
to the gutter.
you get these
Snap.
2 fine chemicals that you mix together.
Those are not enough. Not enough.
And
And I think you should do this on the show. Not today.
We
though.
wanted tape.
we won't
Not
do it today.
We're going to do this before.
We may do this before.
I think we should-
and,
we
and
should
show it
shoot
on
this.
the next show. And then you get this fine little stir stick on this end and a brush to brush it into your mustache and your beard. And I will be shaving some of the excess hair off my face prior to.
Otherwise, it'll just be 1 tube will not be enough. I can guarantee you that.
Well,
one.
if he's going to cheat and shave some of that,
it won't
that
be as
stuff
bad.
off,
It might
you
be
know.
That's
possible.
right.
He's going to.
See, most
okay
people
there.
don't see me because I hide behind my microphone, so you don't get the chance to see me much. But that being said, yes, I am going to look a little younger. I'm not going to look any thinner. So, for my friends like Leanna Kay, who I'm really crossing my fingers that the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo people call up and ask her to come back again this year. She's been with us each and every year, and she's a very good friend.
We hope you're listening.
Yeah, we hope she's listening tonight. She did get an invite to the show. I know she did. So yeah, if you guys want to see Leanna Kay back, bring her back, and I will make myself look younger for the show. How's that?
If nothing else, we should get her on Skype.
If nothing else, we'll
actually,
try
that's
and
a
get her
good
on
idea.
Skype and do an
Yeah, for
interview
sure,
with her.
Definitely.
Now, speaking of notable people, we're going to do a spotlight today on a very famous artist who happens to be coming to the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo, and that is Mr. George Perez. Been around for a very, very long time. George Perez was Rich Buckler's assistant in 1973, and within a year he was launched into his own professional career, first appearing with artwork in Sons of the Tiger, and then with Deadly Hands of Kung Fu magazine, he became a long-running artist on. If anybody doesn't know who Mr. George Perez is, there's a picture of his artwork up on screen right now. George was most noted for his work on the Avengers, with his very inspired Jack Kirby style of artwork. And then he went on to, in the 80s, become very notable for the Teen Titans.
That's where my love for George Perez kind of kicked in. During that era, Titans was coming out. X-Men was really coming out in its heyday with Chris Claremont and John Byrne. And you had the Marvel DC guys going, okay, which book? I fell for Titans. The mutants did interest me at that point, and man, the artwork just sucked me in. And Marv Wolfman writing that book was just amazing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, it was great stuff.
It was a huge, huge leap for Perez to be doing work on the Titans, and it really kind of solidified his career in comics as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the work that one of the pieces of work that he's best known for, as well as he also did work on Justice League of America.
Yep.
I believe we have some images, or maybe an image of the Justice League here.
Man,
We've got a
created
Superman
a lot
image.
of characters coming out of these series as well.
Yeah, he's done a lot. He's done special previews, both in DC Comics Presents. He's also done stuff with Marvel in terms of the Xmen. He's done some work there.
Infinity Gauntlet.
Infinity Gauntlet, as
Seriously?
Oh,
He did
yeah.
the Infinity Gauntlet
Oh,
series.
and yeah, and he had more than one run on Avengers.
Oh,
my
yeah.
goodness.
Oh,
and
yeah.
beautiful stuff.
See, I read the Infinity Gauntlet. That was like one of the first comics my dad ever had.
He actually did half of the Infinity Gauntlet, and then Ron Lim came and finished it.
Okay.
He wound up doing World War III, I think it was called, or War of the Gods. Actually, sorry,
War
it
of
was
the
War of the
Gods.
Gods. And that's what he left Infinity Gauntlet to do.
Did
but both projects were
Mr.
really
Perez
nice.
only do artistry, or did he do story too?
He's
Did he
actually a writer as well. He's
Okay.
been co-writing, or he has actually been writing the new Superman book right now.
Yep.
He wrote a good hunk of his Wonder Woman stuff. In fact, he continued on as writer when he was no longer doing the artwork
Absolutely.
for Wonder Woman. He hasn't done a ton of writing, but Crimson Plague was a creator-owned project he did as well. He wrote and drew that book. Fortunately, we only got like 2 or 3 issues out of it. And George, I want to see more of that book. That was
If
an
you're
awesome
listening,
book.
please.
Well, one of the things that George did recently was he was the writer on the new Superman series with the relaunch of the 52. Also, another here up on screen now, you can see the Avengers. This poster that you're seeing now, it was a very limited edition poster. You could only get it at special events and in certain comic stores it went to. These were numbered and signed. Now, here's what's the sick thing is I had one of these.
It's beautiful. I wish I had one of these. It's
And
awesome.
an ex-girlfriend ended up with it. It was framed. Yeah, I know. It's one of those sick things. But
Can I reach over and slap you?
You-
Alex Smash.
Alex Smash.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
angry Alex.
man, you see, and this is every single character that's ever been in Avengers. Am I correct? Making that assumption?
At
Pretty
that,
close.
up to that
At
point.
that point,
Up
At
to
that
that
point,
point.
yeah.
I mean, this looks like it came out around the 90s. Just looking at some of the costume designs, I see Hercules in his 90s costumes. So yeah, I'd say late 90s. That
I
this,
think it was more mid-90s that this one
Oh yeah,
came out.
probably mid-late 90s because this was pretty much the height of
Oh,
the
yeah, that
industry
Thor is
based on
pretty
the outfits I'm
specific.
seeing here.
That's
Now,
pretty
one of his
crazy.
other pieces of work was the Crisis on Infinite Earths. It had a very long run.
12 issues. And
Yeah.
some of the multiple issues. I think there were 3 of them that were double-sized.
Yes.
Major
Wow.
event.
That sounds
This
amazing.
redefined the DC universe, much like Flashpoint did recently.
This was their 50th anniversary event in 1985. So at 1985, they'd been around for a long time.
That's right.
And with this idea to kind of bring all the, I guess, universes back together, that's what this story really did.
Yeah, the concept was to simplify their universe. We had Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth letters. We had ABCs. I mean, it was
Prime, wasn't there,
ridiculous.
too?
Oh yeah, Prime. That was
Yeah.
the Superboy world. Justice Society exists in their own universe, and DC had acquired a bunch of characters, most notably the Charlton characters at this point, who hadn't made their debut yet in the DC universe. And we're talking Blue Beetle, A Question, Captain Atom, etc. Characters that had inspired the Watchmen, and this brought them into the fold as well. And again, that's something new fans of the new 52 and Flashpoint will notice. They've merged the Wildstorm universe as well.
Oh yeah, because
but
they
with
acquired that
concept.
recently, right? Or
Yeah. Well, they've actually had Wildstorm for quite a while, but it was its own entity, and then they eventually folded the brand. But they're still very viable characters and interesting characters. And it's interesting to see how their influence has changed the dynamic of the DC universe as a whole.
And there's some of the artwork from inside the book.
which actually that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You're like,
Wow.
oh,
Yeah.
wow, yeah.
Now, if
And this-
you're not familiar
This
with...
is 85.
Yeah, this is 85.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous for like I'm like, oh,
Actually,
wow.
no, this isn't. This is actually from Infinite Crisis because we've got Superboy Prime at the top.
Oh, that's right.
So this is actually a promo piece he did for Infinite Crisis.
Oh, okay.
And this was only 6-7 years ago.
Oh,
Tops.
okay.
I'm
And that's
not exactly
like
sure what date that came
gorgeous.
out.
Now, I found this because I'm a huge Batman fan, and this really shows off the pencil work that George Perez does. I mean, this
Wow.
is amazing work. He also does a lot of ink work as well, from what I understand.
This is the guy who's known for packing an immense amount of detail into his artwork.
Oh, yeah.
He's literally drawn every character. I mean, there was the piece he did for the cover of the Crisis trade paperback
Right.
that Alex Ross wound up painting over top of. and I can't remember. It's something insane, like 400 to 500 characters just in this piece.
Right.
I mean, both of them needed a break after that one.
I don't doubt that at all.
I think he damn near killed Alex.
Now here's a shot of some of his work all inked and colored up. If you look really close, you're going to see an enormous amount of detail, not only in the costumings, but the folding of the cloth, all of the detail in the skyline. Like, it's amazing what this man does.
Yeah, this is a guy who doesn't do blank backgrounds. And if he does it with reason and cause.
And here's a good example of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of white in this picture with Wonder Woman, and he also worked on the Wonder Woman run for a while.
Oh, quite a while.
Yeah.
His run is one of the quintessential runs on that character.
And you can see his artwork here. One of the few times that you see Wonder Woman smiling in images today, because today she's kind of scowly. I find her to be kind of scowly today.
Yeah, her book's kind of taken on a bit of a horror tone.
And this is more of his poster work with the Avengers.
And this is promoting his 90s Avengers run, early 2000s. Great run with Kurt Busiek.
Yep. And finally, we have one of his Green Lantern images, page layouts. And his page layouts are very interesting. I find that there's an easy flow to the way that he draws stuff.
Absolutely. It just draws the eye. This page is actually for Brave and the Bold that he did with Mark Waid.
Yep. So
for those of you who are fans, if you haven't become one yet, and you're just seeing this artwork for the first time and going, hey, when can I see his artwork next? World's Finest will be debuting next month.
That's right.
And it's going to be him. It's going to be a revolving team with George Perez and Kevin Maguire, who's also an amazing artist.
Wow.
And George will be doing the first story arc with former president of DC Comics, Paul Levitz.
Very cool. Now we're going to section out of that and go back to now. If you don't know who he is and you want to get some artwork signed, head down. First of all, let's talk about our sponsor for today's show, and that is, of course, Words and Pictures, who sponsor us each and every show with bringing us out the books and lending us you.
Letting Jason out of the
go
basement.
ahead. Go talk about comics.
They're like, Jason, unlock the key.
There's like a little thing on my wrist and my ankle that's going to explode if I don't do the show. So
if you go down to Words and Pictures and ask Jason or any one of the staff that's down there for artwork by George Perez or books by George Perez, you'll be able to take those to the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo and have them signed by the man himself.
I recently got a whack load of art books for George Perez.
There you go.
They're great, and I have a different one coming soon. Plenty of trade paperbacks. You can find us right here in Calgary. Our phone number is 403-282-8870, and we're at 2610 Center Street, Northeast, again, Calgary.
There you go. Now, that being said, we thank Words and Pictures for all the support that they give us here on the show, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo because we are going, so we really want to kind of get you guys involved as well. And we're going to start off, I'm going to tell you about the media guests that are coming, and first and foremost is Adam Baldwin. And we all know Adam Baldwin from his work on Firefly, another Joss Whedon show, with Nathan Fillion from Edmonton, Alberta, and who's now on the show Castle, and looks like he's gained a lot of weight.
I haven't been watching lately, so
really,
yeah,
I don't think he's that much bigger.
Oh yeah, he's
really?
got a fat head now. Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Hey man, I love that show. I think Nathan Fillion's awesome, and I think he has a blast with it.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion's is one of the awesome people. He's kind of sits in that Bruce Campbell camp for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's just awesome no matter what he does.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, John Bernthal will be at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo, as well as the entire principal cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
That's a big one.
Everybody. We're like, Will Wheaton, Denise Crosby, all the way up
LeVar
to
Burton,
all the way up to Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick.
Yeah.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
So
we'll
when you go see him, bow.
Yeah.
And ask to be his number one. gonna be on number one.
But the problem is, number one is also there.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, and that is the
Jonathan
problem, of
Frakes will
course.
be there as
So
well.
So-
you might start a fight. And
That's
if you've
true.
seen the show, the guy can fight.
Even in American Dad, he kicks ass.
That's right. I mean, you know, unless you're a Klingon with, what do they call
Hey,
that? A batleth?
A batleth, yeah.
Yeah, you better come armed.
Well, he even took on a few of them and
He
kicked
did.
their ass.
Yeah.
You know, for a skinny little bald guy, he doesn't do too bad in a fight.
Hey, his demotivational posters are the best. I don't care what anyone says. His face palms are easily the greatest ones around. That and his facial expressions, I don't know how, but he is all over the place. Like, they have a single caption for every single facial expression of Sir Patrick Stewart. It's amazing.
And
His are the best.
Angry
Just
Alex loves the negative posters.
loves
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I
The
love
ones
them.
that make you feel awful about yourself.
Canadian actor Aaron Douglas. We know him as Chief Tyrell from the Battlestar Galactica series. Will also be
Yes.
here.
I haven't actually. I met him a couple of years ago at the show. He came into my cage before the doors opened. I had just finished watching the series all the way through. He
Nice.
comes into the cage. Didn't recognize him at all, despite having watched the show. So we chatted, and I'm like, and I see it. He has a guest pass, and he's like, "Oh, where are you set up?" And he points over to the other side where all the celebs are. And I'm realizing what a dumbass I am.
Whoops.
But very nice guy.
Very
Very
nice
nice
He,
guy.
he
very
looks like he
approachable.
would be, actually.
And he likes his comics.
I remember the special feature where he's wearing a somebody buy this man a beer T-shirt. That's how I remember him or look at him now. Is that T-shirt? I was like, that is awesome. That's golden. I was like, I want that T-shirt.
Now, somebody you're looking very forward to hopefully interviewing and getting some photo ops with, Mr. Robert Englund, who is Freddy Krueger.
That's right. Freddy Krueger. I'm going to bring my Freddy glove to get signed.
Nice.
Very
Nice.
cool.
Hopefully you guys, when I get that photo, we'll post that up on the page for y'all to
Should
see.
get that blown up and done as a poster when it's done too.
There you go. And we'll put the Naked Ape prod up there. Maybe we'll throw it on our... we'll get some high-quality prints made or something.
That'll go into...
Because you'll all want to see me, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and it was a glove
With a glove, yeah. And a hat.
and a hat and...
And some facial covering. No.
Thanks. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
And that restraining order.
Yeah, I'm a big horror guy. I mean, I love comics, but I like horror movies and science fiction, etc. I'm a huge genre buff as a whole. And yeah, I'm quite excited because he's one of the horror icons out there.
Yeah.
And we got a horror sci-fi icon coming as well. That is really huge. And maybe you don't always know his name, but you've seen him in a movie or at
And you've
least
heard
one.
his voice.
Lance Henriksen.
Lance Henriksen
Yes,
is coming.
Monster Brawl. If you haven't seen that movie, I suggest you look it up. Monster Brawl, Canadian made.
Which is currently out
Fresh
on
on-
DVD and Blu-ray.
Amazing movie. I
Just
don't care
came
what
out
you
on
said.
DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Ultra low budget, but think Royal Rumble with monsters. Even Kevin Nash is in there representing the
Yes.
wrestlers.
And
It's
there's
weird.
there's
that
an MMA guy in there, too.
Actually, it's the ref.
The ref.
Yeah, the ref is actually,
it's
the
fairly
black guy.
strange with some of the stuff I'm seeing Lance do.
You know what's
lately.
hilarious is his voice is made to me for video game announcing for fight games. Like, his voice was made for it, as far as I was
and
concerned.
we've seen him do a
Yeah.
lot of voice
Oh,
work
yeah.
for
like,
animation as
it's
well.
Incredible.
I mean, most of you guys will have seen him in things like Aliens.
Aliens.
Good old
Actually, Alien
Bishop.
versus Predator
Yeah.
as well.
he was
where
in that?
Oh, yes.
Alien versus Predator.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need to watch it again then.
Pumpkinhead. Which is
Pumpkinhead.
another horror.
It's a
legend.
horror classic.
It's a horror classic, absolutely.
He's been.
He was
all
also
over
in
the
one of the
place.
Pinhead Pinhead movies.
Yeah,
Hellraiser?
or fairly
Hellraiser
recent
movies,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, one of the later ones
Yeah.
that nobody saw.
Actually, I did.
I've seen it a couple of times myself, but like
It's
I said,
not bad.
I'm a fan. It's like, for the ultra low budget it has, it's not bad. And the thing about Lance Henriksen, you could put him in any little piece of shit, and he just seems to elevate it
Absolutely.
into something a wee bit better. Do you remember there was a movie called Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth?
Yes.
And he was the
Yes.
biker.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's Brian Bosworth. What a crap ass who puts a football player starring in a movie? You know it's gonna suck. Every time he's on the screen, it's just dude, you're awesome as this heavy ass biker.
He played the role
cool
very
stuff.
well.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are a little young to remember this, but I'm referring, of course, to Alex and Cody, but you may remember Buck Rogers in the 25th century. With Tweaky, although Tweaky won't be here.
No, he was a
but
robot.
Gil Gerard and Aaron Gray, the two major stars of the show, will be here at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. By all means, stop by, say hi to them. And from the original Battlestar Galactica, we have Mr. Richard Hatch.
Yes.
My Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's too. She is. She's been a big fan of Richard Hatch.
I've seen both series all the way through, even that crap-ass 1984 one. But it's the original one that I like. I know all you guys, big, huge fans of the new one, said it was the best show on television.
I enjoyed it.
I watched it. I liked it for a little while, but personally don't think it was the best show on television at the time.
Did the religion thing turn you off? I'm curious, actually.
Not overly,
Not
but
overly?
it did get heavy-handed after
did.
a while. It
felt
it was like starting to get
a bit
forced down my
preachy-ish?
throat.
Yeah. I feel it.
I think there was a little too heavy.
Yeah, agreed. But looking forward to that, to him being there.
And fans of
absolutely.
that, there is a new web series coming, spinning out of that. Or
Yes, there is. Yeah, it's like a prequel to where they are now.
Yeah, it
or
was
where they were when they left off.
I think it was supposed to be a pilot.
It was supposed to be another series.
Yeah.
And now they're calling it a web series, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it feels
don't
like
know how well it's going to go, but
still talks in movies. Still,
Yeah,
it's still
There's
in talks for movies.
Yeah, shit or get off the pot, guys.
That's
yeah,
right.
they've been doing it for way too
Now,
long.
a man who never has any indecisive thing to say or do is Mr. Stanley. Stan,
Yeah,
the
this
man
is true.
Lee.
Stan the man.
The man who doesn't say no.
Yes, the man who doesn't say no. But also the man who created some of the most memorable characters in comic books today.
I'd say iconic.
Yeah, iconic. Legendary,
Spider-Man,
epic, yeah.
X-Men, the
Thor.
Hulk,
You name
Fantastic Four,
Captain
Iron
America.
Man.
Captain America. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And he will be here at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. And my understanding is he doesn't bring pictures of himself because he's not that vain. So you got to bring a comic book or something that has Stan Lee in it or on it to get him to sign
And
it.
you also have the opportunity to get your picture taken with
Yes, that's true too.
Uncle Stan. as
Don't
I
Uncle
pull,
call-
Stan.
as
don't
I
pull
like to
the
call
Big
him.
Bang Theory and bring a Batman. I'm pretty sure he won't appreciate it. Or he might laugh. I don't know. You never know. He
Don't
could be
bring
that
up
hilarious
his
guy.
character names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't bring up the scare.
My introduction to Stan Lee, I mean, he was always, when I was reading comics, it was always Stan Lee Presents, but it was just a name. And then he did a lot of narration for the cartoons.
That's
And
right.
That's how I found out who Stan Lee actually was, through his voice work on The Incredible Hulk from 1984.
Right.
And,
That X-Men series that was the really, really old one that my buddy Kevin showed me. I
Back
showed
in
him
the
beginning.
80s?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
actually showed me the beginning. It was
That really
terrible.
wasn't that
90s.
old.
Oh man, it
90s?
was bad.
there was no 80s series.
Okay,
It was
Nice.
it was before the actual TV series that actually was amazing.
There
By-
was
hands
there
down,
was a pilot called Pride of the X-Men.
and it was
Right.
That's
oh
the
my
one you probably saw.
God,
It was just a pilot, but it was a very good pilot. And it's out there somewhere.
It's on YouTube. It actually is.
yeah, you can
I've
find it
seen
on YouTube. I've seen it.
Good
many
is
times.
relative because I saw the actual TV series that went up on Fox, and to me, nothing beats the X-Men. The X-Men theme song is the greatest song ever made for any cartoon, hands down. That guitar riff was amazing.
I don't know, man.
That's right. That thing was amazing to be
I'm
played.
kind of a fan of the new Avengers theme song.
Are you?
Avengers Assemble. Yeah, it's catchy. It
It
gets
is-
in your
it
head
is.
and never lets go.
Actually, Young Justice for me. I am all over that show. I think
That's
it's
a great show.
amazing. That's
Great
one of the
show.
best cartoons out there right now for me for comic books.
I
now.
got to agree with you. I haven't seen the new Green Lantern yet, but Young Justice is a spectacular
They seem
show.
to just really- and
Avengers is
even-
also great.
Even without missing Kevin Conroy as Batman and stuff like that I was used to, and watching
Yeah.
the first episode, I was like, something's wrong here, and yet I've grown to actually just enjoy it.
Yeah, well, that was Bruce Greenwood, who's Batman, and we've actually seen him play the character before in some of the direct-to-DVD movies.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember which particular one at this point.
You got
'cause,
me.
Haven't done my research, but I think it was one of the Superman Batman ones.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it wasn't, because those were the
Those were
original
Tim
voice
Daly
cast.
and Kevin
Those
Conroy,
were
yeah.
the classic
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah.
But it was one of the more recent ones, actually, and
Was it?
I think he's a very good Batman. They are trying to utilize some of these other voices that they've used in the direct-to-video stuff, but it's not about the big
anyways.
It's
yeah, it is
it's
about the little guys.
That's right.
Honestly,
the
I've-
sidekicks trying to.
I've come to
find
love
their identities.
Superboy.
Now, speaking of voices
so.
in cartoons, we have the man who played Spike. He also played on. He played what's the guy with the three Brainiac.
Smallville
And he's
TV
he's
show
been
series.
Lex Luthor in the animation.
He's been Lex Luthor in the animation. Of course, we're speaking of Mr. James Marsters.
He was also Krillin, I got told, in the Dragon Ball movie.
I've seen it. Everybody,
haven't
we
seen
should
it, but-
pause for the ladies for a second. Let them,
Yeah.
have their moment. Okay,
All right.
they've had their moment.
All right. And for us Fringe fans, there will be Jessica Nicole and John Noble showing up.
John Noble, looking forward to him, actually.
There's
He is on
also
my
no
list.
stranger to animation.
That's true.
He is, I think he's an incredible actor, and his work in LA Noire really, really surprised me. He actually is one of the top guys in that game. I don't know if you played
Yeah.
it. That was the
Oh,
big
yeah.
one that Rockstar did with the facial recognition
Oh yeah,
technology.
I'm very well aware.
His
yeah.
interview is actually, you get an achievement if you can trip him up. His interview is like one of the toughest ones to do, and I got it. I loved it. It
Okay,
was
so how many
amazing.
people wanted to kill the cheerleader in Heroes?
Oh,
Save
Okay.
the cheerleader. Do we
kill
really need
kill
to?
her how is what
that's
is
Okay, who wanted to
questionable
date the
here.
cheerleader?
Oh, come on now. What?
Hayden
Wonder how much trouble
Panettiere
that's gonna get
is Hayden Panettiere will be attending the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo, and the man behind the mask, Mr. David Prowse.
Abs. And you, my friend. You are stoked about that.
I am so stoked about David Prowse being here. I mean, I'm a huge Darth Vader fan, as all you guys know. I'm also a huge Batman fan. So it's kind of a toss-up for me. Which one? Who do I want to talk to first?
Because, of course, he's talking about
Mr. Adam West,
absolutely
who also does a lot of incredible voiceover
Mayor
work.
of Quahog.
Family Guy.
You know.
A man
all
who, I normally wouldn't bring this up because this really doesn't kind of fit into our genre, but it does fit into the geek culture a little bit. A classic hero from the ring, Mr. Jake the Snake Roberts, will be here.
Yeah, I
we
saw
got
that.
Jake Snake and actually $1 Million
Diamond Dollar-
Man.
Million Dollar Man will be here
Diamond
as well,
Dallas
yeah.
Page too.
Oh, is he coming
yeah,
this year?
he's coming too. Yeah.
Okay.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the announcement
No,
on
I
that
didn't
yet.
see
I
that.
was pretty sure
DDP
He was here
on
last
that.
year.
Yeah,
Was
he
it?
was
I
here
Yeah, he
I
was
thought
last
he
year.
was on it for this year too.
No,
when
he
we
was
were
on
looking
last
at it.
year.
I was
Okay.
like, D.
he's looking old.
Katie
Yeah,
Sackhoff.
I saw
He was
it,
looking
yeah.
old back when he was wrestling.
Now, here's another woman I have fantasies about, much like Howard from
Big Bang.
Big Bang Theory.
Katie Sackhoff.
Katie Sackhoff will be here.
Yeah.
I think every man has fantasies about Katie Sackhoff.
Starbuck's a dude.
fly
She-
the stick
she-
any day.
She was a good looking Starbuck, but Starbuck is a dude. I'm sorry.
So we're gonna have.
I'm a little bit bitter about Katie Sack. I mean, she's damn sexy, but Starbuck's a dude.
All right then. And Canadian actress, most notable for her work on SG1 as Samantha Carter, Amanda Tapping will be here. She's also the lead on Sanctuary. As well.
And one of the chief creative people on that show as
Yes.
well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's very
interesting.
much behind that.
Yeah.
The scenes on that show. It's her baby.
Will Wheaton, I have to say his name once again because I think he's just a cool kid. I really do. As
he's
much
done
as
a
we
lot of
hated
work.
him as Wesley Crusher,
He's
expanded
embraced our
himself.
culture.
Yeah.
he's a guy who
He's
stands
ingrained
out.
himself across the board, like
Yeah.
in any geek kind
Yeah,
of
he's-
dumb.
he's made
there.
frequent appearances
Yeah.
on the Guild on the internet. If you haven't checked that show out,
Well,
it's
not to
firmly
mention
entrenched in
Bang.
the
Oh,
geek
absolutely.
He's
Check
a
out
magic
this-
guy,
yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, he's all over the place. Pollen Storm and him actually did a remake of Rebecca Black's Friday. It was hilarious. If you haven't done it, I suggest you check it out on YouTube. It is so funny. That one was a really good one, actually.
Yeah.
That's the
I
only way
haven't-
I've listened to that song is I know the words because I watched Will Wheaton, Paul, and Storm do it live on a stage.
The Fables novel, he did the narration for
Yes.
the audio version of that.
Yes, he
Oh,
did.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, his name,
Yeah,
he
he's done a
can't
lot of
escape the
animated
voice.
voices.
Yeah, even if you wanted to, if you're any
Yeah.
kind of nerd or geek, you'd be like, Will Wheaton.
Damn you, Will
Damn it,
Wheaton.
You're
You know,
everywhere.
I kind of figure you're going to see a lot of that at the Comic Expo. I
It'll
want
be
to
like
mention
Will.
Frank Cho, who is coming to the Calgary
Who's
Comic.
been here once
huge.
before.
He's been here before, yeah.
He recently did Avengers X-Men Zero, so
Yeah, he's
bring
also
those
worked on the
by.
Hulk.
Sweet.
And let's not forget Liberty Meadows.
Absolutely. which he's most noted for.
Most noted for,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Who else do we got here? We should talk about our good friend Fiona Staples has been announced.
Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing Fiona again. Her book recently launched and sold out immediately. Saga
Wow, nice.
with Brian K. Vaughan. This book is great. If you haven't picked it up yet, pick up your second prints when number 2 ships because you're pretty much screwed on number 1s now.
Now, I'm going to really try and snuggle up to her and get her to hold up this one.
Yeah,
I love the hotties between the pages at nakedapeprod.com.
Shameless
Yeah,
plug.
shameless plug. I really want her to hold that up because I know she'll have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And then I'll ask her who she's here for, and if she says she's here for the hotties, well, that'll just make my day. Because if you have not met Fiona Staples, by all means, go to her table. She is a lot of fun. She's cute as a button, and if she were my daughter, I'd never let her out of the house.
Nice.
Because I think guys are all over that girl.
Well, I've met her boyfriend. Very nice
Yes,
gentleman.
we both did.
Why you gotta ruin it, Jay? I don't understand, dude.
because the more people were venturing into creepy territory, and somebody's got to
crush
be
me
the
up before
stable
I
of
get
your
a
I
friends.
actually am looking forward to meeting her. Hopefully, like you guys have been talking about her before.
Yeah,
and you
she's
met
a
her, and
wonderful
she sounds
gal.
Really awesome. So.
You know, I just love hanging out with her. She's a wonderful gal, and she's a fantastic artist. I'm still hoping that she'll
Local
do some
talent
more.
too, right?
She is
Like,
local
so
from
we
Calgary,
wanna say
yes.
that. That's
Eisner
huge.
nominated.
She's Eisner
Wow,
nominated.
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's massive.
You know, I've noticed I'm the voice of reason tonight, and
You are.
Which is
it's
ridiculous.
Fucking scary.
Why? Don't let it happen, guys. Come on, get back in here. Get Jason off the derailment. Let Alex smash and Cody.
Phil
roll.
Hester's coming.
Great stuff. I mean, I love this guy's artwork. He's got a unique style to him, and he's also a very talented writer as well. He recently came off a writing stint of Godzilla.
Oh, what?
Really?
Yes.
He did Superman prior to the relaunch.
Yeah, interesting.
He's been all over the place. He had a creator-owned book called Coffin that was really great. He's got a large body of work. Check him out. Very unique talents. Also Eisner nominated.
Yep.
He might even have a couple awards under that belt.
I think he might as well, yeah.
He's a very, very good talent.
And just before we wrap it up, I'm going to mention two guys here. Arthur Sidem. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing his name.
I'm not sure how to pronounce his name either. Marvel Zombies.
Yes, Marvel Zombies. If you haven't read
Most
the series, it is truly amazing, horrific, beautifully illustrated, beautifully written stories, and it takes all of your favorite Marvel characters and
Fucks him up royally.
and makes them all flesh-eating zombies.
Nice. That actually sounds
he
badass.
He did all the covers, and they were these awesome homages to classic covers.
Oh,
so
really?
you know,
Sweet.
you'd see the Spider-Man classic where he's holding the guy under his arm in the
old
rescue
Ditko
pose.
cover.
Zombified.
Yeah, and it's all zombified. He's also known for a lot of fantasy work prior
Right.
to the zombie stuff, but he certainly made a killing with his zombie-izations of things.
Nice. That sounds
he even
badass.
did a Tick cover not that long ago.
Oh, what?
A zombie Tick cover.
That zombie tick.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I mean,
that sounds
there's
cool.
if you got some of those Marvel Zombies kicking around, or the Marvel Zombies cover book from Marvel, it's just all the covers. It's there's some other artists in there as well, but it's primarily Arthur's work, and he's got a couple of art books out there, and they're all going to be great things to get signed at the
Very
show.
cool.
And I'm sure he'll have some of it.
Oh,
at his
yeah,
booth as
absolutely.
well.
And last but not least, I want to mention Mark Texera, who was supposed to be here last year and unfortunately did not make it, from what I understand. And he will be here this year as a creator guest.
Why do I know that name?
Most notable for his 90s work on Ghost Rider
Yep.
and Wolverine.
Okay.
Also
that's
has done
why.
work on the Vampirella, Xmen, Spider-Man,
Okay.
and Moon Knight.
Yeah, he's
interesting.
been
Very
all over the
decorated,
place.
eh?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah,
Nice.
so we've got a huge lineup, and there's even more. There's voiceover guests like
Tara Strong.
Tara Strong.
The Futurama crew. I'm
The
sorry. I have
Futurama
to
crew
say
will
it.
be
I
here.
am,
Billy West,
John DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio.
Which, by the way, if you didn't know this, I'm going to mention this. John DiMaggio played the voice of Marcus Phoenix from the Gears of War series. So the voice of Bender was actually Marcus Phoenix. Just for, that surprised the hell out of me when I
There
found
you
that
go,
out.
guys.
So
There you go. So there are lots of guys coming, as well as John Kagan, who is notable for his work on undergrads.
Oh yeah,
did
that's
work
right.
on undergrads.
I love that show.
That
That
show
was
was
great.
so
It
good.
also did,
it needed more time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
a ton of work on other shows like Switchblade. What else does he have there? There's so many I can't.
There's actually quite a few undergrad guests this year.
Oh, is
so,
there?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah. There's tons of them.
for the one season we got at undergrads.
That was epic.
It was
Oh, man.
a brilliant season in some of the
It's like Clone
best
High to me.
animation we've seen.
Yeah.
In the
Oh
entire
yeah.
Two shows.
Best
that honestly
storytelling,
were
I think, in an
canceled.
animated
It was,
series.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a kid show, but
No, not
No,
by
by
any
no
means.
but you know, it wasn't in that retarded
G-Prime.
family guy
Yeah, no,
sense.
it wasn't. It was actually a little
South
bit
Park.
more
Yeah.
elevated.
Yeah, it was.
you know?
It was
far
definitely
more-
college humor.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
college humor, absolutely.
And before I wrap it up, I just want to mention Jim Cummings, the voice of Winnie the Pooh.
That
Yes,
is so
that's
cool. I
huge.
mean,
That's
I think
awesome.
that's awesome.
I think that's very cool as well.
Most recently, there was that Winnie the Pooh movie that just looked gorgeous. It was nice
Oh,
to see.
the animation was outstanding.
Nice to see
Was it?
Disney going back to what they do
Best.
do
Really
well.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you got Pixar doing their thing, but come on, Disney,
Step it up.
you guys
Go back to what
are
you
good
do.
at traditional animation,
Absolutely.
something nobody's doing anymore. And
Yeah.
and show that movie showed that you guys can still do it and it's still viable. Keep it coming. That
And if
stuff
you're
is
like me
amazing.
and are a fan of a show called Comic Book the Movie, Jim Cummings makes a special guest appearance in that movie, as well as Billy West is in the movie.
Yeah, Billy West too. Of course, the
Um,
voice of Fry.
Of
you
the
know,
voice of Fry.
which
So if
was
you haven't
interesting.
seen that movie, try and download it off of. I wonder if I'll get it.
iTunes.
iTunes, yeah,
iTunes.
say iTunes or Netflix. You can get it on Netflix
Yeah,
too.
Netflix, and it's available on DVD as well.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, and if you're like me and you own the DVD, last year I got. Oh man, what was his name? He was on the Animaniacs. He was one of the Animaniacs. I can't remember.
I'm
Anyway,
sorry. Can't help
actually,
you
you
on
still
that.
have that at your
I
place.
still have it at my place. Yes, it is stashed
So
away, though.
you have
It's
to
good.
bring
I
it
have
back to me
back
so I
for
can
you
get some
so you can
signatures
get it
on that.
signed.
And Brian Froud is going to be here from Ontario, Canada, and he actually, I know I said the other one would be my last one, but
There's too many. We have to keep going.
yes, there's lots of people coming. Brian Froud has been voices on Tour as Harold, Total Drama Island, Beyblade. He's done lots of voiceover
Oh, wow,
work. So,
okay.
you know, he's well worth seeing. And going from there, I'm not going to mention the rest.
Well, I'm going to give a special shout out to another local talent, Riley Rossmo.
Right.
He's just recently launched Rebel Bloods, had a nice long run on Proof, Cowboy Ninja Viking. Great local talents. He's got some really cool books out there. Definitely go check them out. Green Wake as well. Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Local talent, check it out. Of course, if you didn't join us at the website today, we're going to remind you next in 2 weeks when we come back for Between the Pages again. You can join us at nakedaprod.com. Click on the Watch Live button, and you can pick your streams, 3 from there. That's Stickum, Justin, and Ustream. And join us in the chat room. You can mention Jason, tell him how he needs to dirty it back up. Tell me that I need to get angry. Tell Rich to get a haircut. And tell everybody Cody how beautiful he looks. So join us there. Keep it locked. Of course, Facebook, you want to get that free weekend pass, and we know you want to. Like us on Facebook. Get your friends to like us on Facebook. Be loud about it, as Jason said. Tell us what you think, how you feel. Tell Jason he looks amazing. He's a sexy beast. You want to jump his bones at the Comic-Con. That's right. We are here. Keep it locked. Facebook. Join us. Twitter. Rich.
Rich is actually going to pass it over to Jason to close the show. I'm having so many brain
I forgot
farts
my
today.
homework tonight, right?
You
Remember?
did. You forgot your homework, but
But-
you did bring some stuff for a quick little show and tell of what's on the shelf.
Well, before I show my show and tell bit, new on the shelf tomorrow, Avengers Xmen #1. That would be the big puppy. We just showed you the Marvel AR on that. More incentive to pick up this book.
Absolutely.
If nothing else, it is the Royal Rumble of the Marvel Universe. It's everybody against everybody else. So go ahead, check it out. Notables over at DC, Action Comics #8. Swamp Thing, Animal Man, and the final issues of OMAC and Hawken Dove before some of the replaceable books come out next month. Check those out. Go to your local shop and support print books.
Yes, absolutely. Support print books. Now we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank all of the guys. Oh, yeah, we'll do a
And
little
he's
show
just
and
jumping
tell.
out there.
Yeah, see,
It's kind of cool.
I wanted to fill the dead air. So that's
He
my little
forgets.
pirate.
Every week, I'm like, I pull something up, I'm like, no, wait.
We always have toys
Okay.
here. Try to do
So-
the unboxing. and
Dark
other
Horse
one.
has been doing these cool. I'm not sure what these are called, Sirocco's or something like that. They're meant to look like old classic statues. They're about big, 5-6 inches. They come in these great classic tins. The one I've got here is from the Marvel line. This is Amazing Spider-Man. This was actually from last year's San Diego
Wow.
exclusive, and a few of them have trickled out through Dark Horse's solicitations. Is how I got one.
And this looks like Steve Ditko artwork
And,
on it.
Yeah, great Steve Ditko artwork on the tin. This is 10. Some cool stuff going on there.
Not you, Peter. Not you.
See, this is not my unboxing.
Okay, this is your unboxing.
This
All
won't
right.
color my hair. Or
massive,
anything.
massive difference.
Now
here.
on the lid, there we go. There's also this cool
Oh.
button
nice.
that's upside down.
I like
There
it.
we go, and some insert there.
Which you're not going to take out and open because it's collectible.
And it's just an insert.
Jason doesn't carry. It's printed.
And as you can see, it's got this kind of cool classic look to it. It doesn't have smooth lines. This looks like it's kind of been chiseled out of wood. And they've been doing a lot of the Marvel ones of these, but there was Dark Horse line of some of their modern characters. They've done Golden Age characters as well. They're doing Disney and Peanuts and Archie.
Oh, wow.
There's all sorts of lines for these. They retail for about $50.
Nice.
Those look
so-
awesome. So
yeah.
if you're a collector, definitely get on it. Hey, if you
Yeah,
can.
there's
fun.
like I said, the Marvel line's fairly new. They're kind of doing a few separate lines. There's going to be a Thor line and an FF line, and this is from the classic Marvel line as well.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So we're going to wrap things up now. That's we actually went a half hour over today, which we said we weren't going to do, but you never know.
Angry.
Ah!
It's the internet. Who cares? We don't get paid to do this show.
What?
We do
don't
this
don't
for
tell
the love
YouTube
of it.
that or the movie studios
Yeah,
that
don't
we
tell
don't
them.
get paid.
So I want to thank our guest, Mr. Cody Carmichael, from our other sister show. Well, it's not even a sister show, but it's another show that happens right here at Naked Ape Productions,
The PC Basement.
the PC Basement. And what do we got coming
With
up
the
on the
Crash
PC
Your
Basement
Show.
this week? We might as well do a plug.
Oh, well, we've got a little bit more on building a computer. This is the Windows 7, kind of setting up some software and a quick backup, I believe.
Very cool.
Recovering.
Awesome.
And don't forget to check out that cute little mug right over there
At Comic-Con.
at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. He's going to be wandering around in his Naked Ape Productions T-shirt, polo shirt, dress. I don't know what he's going to wear.
I
gonna have
will be
monkeys
wearing
on it.
something. I will not be naked. I can guarantee you that.
You won't be running around as a naked ape. Okay. But
Keep
he
your
will
banana
be
covered.
And that's where we're going to end it.
Oh, man, I just wanted to say,
Welcome.
speak into the mic. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, he will be there. Track him down. If you are in costume, track that man down because he is going to be taking your photo, and we are going to be putting it right here on this show and streaming it out to everybody in the world, anybody that watches this show. I also want to thank my co-host each and every week, Mr. Jason Bishop.
Thanks again, and come and check me out over at Words and Pictures, 2610 Center Street Northeast, 403-282-8870. We have everything, back issues, etc., graphic novels, toys, statues, you name it, we got it.
And as also with us as our new kind of background co-host, Mr. I'm Too Mad,
I'm
Alex.
angry Alex.
Alex
Smash.
Johnson?
Actually, I didn't do bad tonight. We were worried about it,
Yeah,
but
too much fun, I think.
thank you for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to hop on board here and be a part of Jason here. Tool heads must stick together. That's what I say. So we stick it up. Again, catch us. You can also catch me, I should say, on the PC Basement as well every second Saturday, which actually is going to line up with Between the Pages pretty much, I think, from now on. So
Yeah,
we've
we're gonna
gone
try and
pretty
do
good with
those
that.
shows.
So
This show is going to be moving to Sundays.
eventually,
eventually,
we're still haven't figured out the
Probably
schedule.
later in May. It's going to move
Yeah.
to Sundays.
So you can catch us there, catch us here, join us on Facebook, catch me on Twitter, email me. You know the deal. Come on, just get to nakedaprod.com.
Now,
That's
for
the
Between
deal.
the Pages, you're going to be bringing a whole new element to the show by talking about video games, and that kind of thing.
My dirty secrets, the things that by looking at me, you're like those bags under his eyes. Where do they come from? Video games, late nights.
Late
As I
nights.
talked about, I played EverQuest back in its heyday, so that tells you something about me that I'm a nerd. Huzzah!
We're all nerds. We're all.
But
nerds.
anyways, thank you guys for having me. And again, catch the show. Catch it at nakedapeprod.com. You can catch our last episode as well if you didn't catch our movie roundup. Check out the feature page for who's up and winning in the whole year here with Jason and his bragging tonight. So we'll go from there. Cody, of course. Hopefully we'll catch up.
Don't be hater. Don't be hater.
It's okay. I got time, buddy. I got time. It's okay. So thank you, and hope you enjoyed the show.
As always, I want to thank you very much for joining us. We've had a blast bringing you the show. We want to bring the show to you even more regularly. So if you like the show, please send us a like on Facebook to our page at nakedapeprod.com. Also, check us out on the internet. Check out our page. Check out our other shows. Leave us comments. You can send any comments that you have to Between the Pages at nakedapeprod.com. And we will be happy to respond to them, talk about them on the air. We are going to bring in an element a little bit later on down the road. We're still trying to work out some of the technicalities of it, but you will be able to call into the show in the very near future and be a part of the show.
And keep in mind, you can also do that through the chat room as well.
That's right.
So make sure you log into the chat room.
Log into the chat room, come join us, and we will see you next time Between the Pages.